What if I told you that that thing you've been chasing, the followers, the subs, the six-figure YouTube channel, what if that's not really what you're looking for? Whether it's a promotion or a new relationship or becoming a Twitch partner, that's all just glitter. And underneath it, that's something deeper that we don't really talk about usually. I've spent the last 40 plus years doing what a lot of us do, trying to be good and trying to be productive and working hard, following the rules. And it wasn't until I found myself obsessing over my Twitch numbers, my YouTube views, I realized I had stopped creating from joy. And I was creating from a need to belong. And maybe you can relate. And so what if I told you that all of that striving, it's not a flaw, it's just a signal. It's a signal that something deeper is calling for your attention. I spent over 40 years ignoring that signal, but now I know better. And I want to share it with you in case you're stuck in that loop. I'm Lavonda, if we don't know each other. I've been streaming on Twitch for about 5 years, and I'm just starting this YouTube journey. And as I grew as a streamer, somewhere along the way, it stopped being about the creativity and the fun, and it started to be about the numbers. You know, the follows, the views, the subscribers. And I, like a lot of us, was raised on the gospel of productivity. If you're good, you get rewarded. If you work hard, you're gonna get ahead. And if you're struggling, well, that just means you're not working hard enough. So I became the queen of the tryhards, a straight A student and the first one at work, and I was polished and presentable and predictable. And every time I hit a goal, there was a little high. And it was like a, see, I am enough moment until it wore off, because it always did. And then I was on to the next chase. And I thought the numbers on Twitch and YouTube and Instagram, I thought those meant that I was doing something right. So I would finish a stream and I would immediately check the numbers. How many viewers did I have? What kind of engagement was there? Did I say too much? Did I not say enough? And underneath all of it, I now realize was this deep need to belong. I wasn't looking for an audience. I was looking for acceptance. I wanted proof that I mattered. And I think proof that my voice mattered. And if you've ever felt that too, you are definitely not alone. Because I think we're all taught that we need to chase this visibility. But nobody teaches us how do we stay seen or feel seen when the numbers are low. And what's wild is I didn't even realize that that's what was happening. I thought I was just learning this new hobby and creating and having fun. And the more I think about it, live streaming and making videos, that has definitely had a way of holding up a mirror. It's kind of made me confront some things that have been going on in my life, some things that I've been avoiding, like how I believed that I only had value if somebody said I did. And this is hard to be out here. I'm in a public space in nature, trying something different. It's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to admit this. I just wanted to come out here and tell you this because maybe you feel like this too. And I'm not judging you. I'm sitting right beside you. And I want to hand you some truth that I had to learn the hard way, so maybe it saves you some time. You don't need outside approval to be who you are. You don't need a viral video to be worthy, and you don't need to be a Twitch partner to be a success. I think what you need is to be able to love yourself. I don't mean this in an airy-fairy way, like, no, love all of your parts. I think that we don't know how. No one ever teaches us how to love all of our weird and still becoming parts. And I don't want to come off saying ambition is the enemy, but for a long time, I wasn't chasing my dreams. I was chasing self-worth. I thought the next degree, the next relationship, the next project, I thought those would make me feel whole, maybe make me feel valid and seen and safe. But spoiler alert, it didn't. Because here's the truth that I couldn't see back then. I wasn't asking for more. I was asking, am I allowed to even take up space? And here's something that nobody warned me about. Time gets louder after you turn 40. Suddenly, it's not about trying new things and becoming who you are. It's about grieving the time you think you've lost. And I remember sitting on the edge of my bed one night thinking, am I too old? Am I too late? How am I going to compete with all these young kids? Am I too late to grow? Do I even matter? And that fear has kept me playing small for a really long time. And I would tell myself things like, well, if you were going to do it, you would have done it by now. But here's the quiet truth that I finally had to learn. Time is going to pass anyway. So are you going to pass time in fear? Are you going to be stuck in that? Or can you just keep moving towards your purpose, one small step at a time? Can you keep moving forward, fine lines and creaky knees and all? And sometimes I think that success is just a more socially acceptable form of people pleasing. I think it's easier to chase applause than it is to sit in silence. And I think it's easier to build a brand than to build yourself. If you think about it, it's so much easier to post a polished picture, something that you think everybody will applaud. It's easier to do that than to feel like a ghost in your own life. And you know, I thought if I looked accomplished enough, I would feel whole. But at some point, I had to accept and realize that I was exhausted. And not from trying, but from performing all the time. And you know, about success, I used to think it was this big, shiny, loud thing. Once I hit X number of followers, or I made X amount of money, or I had this status symbol, I thought I would finally feel confident. But let me tell you, some of the people with 1 million plus followers, they feel like frauds. And I think real success is quiet, and it feels like freedom, and it feels like peace. I think it feels like making something and feeling proud of it even if no one watches. Maybe like this video. And I wasn't craving admiration, I was craving belonging. I wanted permission to be real. And that permission, it doesn't come from followers or randos on the interwebs. It comes from us. It comes from you looking in the mirror, genuinely saying, I love you, all of your parts. And so what helped me finally stop spiraling was, well, the first thing was I started following people who looked and sounded like me. You know, I started following folks over 40, people who didn't have it all figured out, and people who were willing to be real and just show up as they were. And I thought, if they can do it, I can too. And I also started rethinking what it means to age, because aging isn't what steals our confidence. Aging just reveals who we really are. And once you hit a certain age, you can't fake it anymore. Your body and your soul and your time, they start to demand honesty. And the more honest I got, the more free I felt to say no, to say yes, to give less fucks. So for me, freedom isn't a yacht or early retirement or 100,000 followers. For me, it's walking into a room and not shrinking. For me, it's resting without guilt. For me, it's creating because I want to, not because I'm desperate to prove something. And I'm treating aging not as a failure. I'm starting to learn how to age well, with curiosity and intention, and also compassion for all the past versions of myself. And I stopped needing to look young to feel valuable. And I'm honoring the fact now that my age isn't baggage. It's a valuable asset that I can use to help other people. And so I wish back then someone had told me, you are not here to earn your worth. You're born with it. You already have it. I wish someone had told me that you don't need to hustle harder. You don't need to be more and do more. You need to come home to yourself. Because when you do, you stop chasing validation. So here's my advice. 1, start messy. Seriously, your first stuff is gonna be trash, and that's okay. Who cares? That's the whole point. You just start. Number 2, everything is learnable and figure outable. Successful and talented people, that's not magic. That's repetition. And 3, stop chasing the numbers, because when you create from wholeness, the right people are gonna find you. And you know, as I'm recording this video, I've just recently pivoted my YouTube channel. And I know that I'm gonna lose a lot of followers who are here for the other content. And that's okay, because all that does is make space for the new people to come in. And the last thing I would say that I wish someone had told me or showed me how to do is to love yourself, all of your parts, even the struggling ones. Because once you stop chasing approval, you start trusting your own voice, that's when the magic happens. So let me ask you something. What have you been chasing lately? What's the thing that you feel will finally make you whole? Just what if you could give that to yourself already, right now, today? Because you're actually enough all by yourself.